Hi guys, Vechs here. Welcome back to some more World of Tanks. I just did my first battle with the Nashorn's 88 L71, the long 88 millimeter on the Nashorn. This is my very first battle with it, and I actually skipped over the short 88 because I looked at the stats and I compared them to the starting stock gun, and between these two I prefer the long 75 over the short 88. I looked at the 132 pin and I was like, that's not enough for a tier 6, so I decided to just skip it. Now, the long 88 over here, let's pull up the achievements again. The long 88 is the real deal with a non-premium penetration of 203 and a premium penetration of 237 average. I have to say, this seems like a great gun for somebody who never wants to bother with premium ammo because there's not very much difference. There's only a 34 millimeters difference in average penetration between APCR and AP. And for a tier 6 vehicle, a penetration of 203 is fantastic. So I got the tank sniper medal. Caused the highest damage per battle at a distance of at least 300 meters. And the thing is though, the T-29 technically outdamaged me here by a little bit, but yet it gave it to me. I'm not sure how that's calculated. Caused the highest damage per battle at a distance of at least 300 meters. Maybe it's of the players who shot from beyond 300 meters. Maybe that's it. Well, either way, I did fantastic this battle, and I got 2 nice medals and a nice badge here, the first class badge. I'd like to get, I feel that I'll probably get Ace Tanker eventually, now that I've got this long 88 to work with. But anyway, let's take a look at this battle, and when I say battle, it was really more of a massacre. We just completely crushed. So the battle's begun, and I'm just checking out the dispersion on this gun because this is the first time I'm using this. So I'm kind of just taking my time and seeing how the gun handles and performs as I swing it around and I watch the reticle tighten to get a feel for it. I have to say it's a very, let me switch to my free view, it's a very impressive looking gun. It's long and it just looks like it's going to punch a shell right through an enemy tank, and that's exactly what it ends up doing. For my ammunition loadout, I'm going with 30 AP, only 2 premium rounds because I feel like I won't really honestly need them that often. Maybe occasionally when I need just like a tiny extra bit of pin, but I'm quite happy to see that there's a vehicle in the game where the premium ammo is not really a huge upgrade to it. Just makes me feel better about playing it. So I like this map a lot, and one of my favorite sniping spots is right here on the cliff, and I'm wondering if people are even going to come this way. But thankfully this ISU-152 and this enemy Nashorn both come this way. So I'm trying to figure out how to situate my vehicle to make the most out of this spot, and it looks like I need to pitch downwards a little bit right here. There we go. There we go. So I sit still and I let my binoculars and camo net activate. And I go ahead and take that first shot on that Nashorn and I hurt him. And I'm gonna take another shot. Whack. Oh, okay. So right here, I don't take this shot. And I'm looking to see if their gun barrels are pointing, you know, over at me to see if they see. But I'm going to slow this battle down, this footage down a lot, down to 116. Actually, I'm just going to pause it. I want to talk without it, the battle proceeding. Okay, so if you look at the mini-map, basically what I've done here is the Nashorn, and I've said the same thing about the Toaster and the tank that comes after this, they all have completely pathetic armor, and to play them appropriately, you need to really understand the spotting mechanics in World of Tanks, and you need to know what your view range is. And so you got to park your tank in the very rear of the lines. You can actually see I'm the westmost vehicle on our team. I'm as rear as it'll get for our team. You can see the spread out here. Most of the team is clustered around the five column, and so I'm way in the back. And thankfully the Cromwell's helping me spot, but I'm not sure. I think I'm actually spotting these guys by myself. Although the Cromwell is making sure that I spot both of them, all of them, because you can see my sight range indicator using the XVM mod there. You don't need that. You could just remember your own sight range and just count the grids, because every 100, you see in the top left of the mini-map, 1,000 meters, that means it's a 1,000 meter scale. There's 10 squares, so every square is 100 meters. So if you're parked in the middle of K2, and your view range is 400 meters, then that means you're going to see all the way out to 4 squares away, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, exactly where the range marker is. And I've got the binoculars to boost it past that. And also the commander helps boost it as well if you give him certain traits, like recon, and then the radio operator gets situational awareness. So there's other things that can factor in to boost your range even farther. So I basically want to shoot from a position where I'm at the very edge of the sight range, so that I can fire. When you shoot your gun, it gives you a penalty to camouflage for a little bit, and so suddenly you could fire your gun and reveal yourself where previously you weren't seen. So that's why I'm so far away back here. Now you saw I intentionally stopped shooting to change my shell load. I prep a high explosive shell and I fire at the Nashorn there. And there goes the shell. You can see it going. And I'm aiming towards the back of the superstructure where I know the armor is basically non-existent. And I checked before I fired, I checked the penetration of the high explosive shell, 44. That's enough to penetrate the armor of the Nashorn, because the armor of the Nashorn is pathetic. So I know I can actually get a penetrating hit with a high explosive shell. Let's see what happens to him. I'll do it at 1/8 speed. So it hits for 255, or 258, and sets him on fire. And then the fire starts burning up his tank, and he goes down.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
So I switch back to AP. So that's why I switched there, because I knew I could get a lot out of the high explosive. I switch back to armor piercing and start firing again at these guys. And I'm watching for the gun movement on the Churchill to see if he looks towards me, and he's really not. So right there I put a round through the tread housing on the Churchill to detrack him, and it also dealt damage. I tried to shoot at the SU-152, but I hit a well-armored spot or a well-sloped spot, and it didn't do much. So I tracked the Churchill again. I'm trying to keep that Churchill tracked, and I'm shooting through his treads and actually dealing damage. I think he's taking blind shots here. So I'm keeping that Churchill tracked so he can't move to cover. And then I'm like, you know what? I guess I'll keep firing at you. I missed that shot even though I'm pointing right at him. Kind of surprised I missed that, but oh well. And then the SU-152 gets killed by our SU-152. And then I look at the mini-map and I look at the teams, and they're just like, they're really getting crushed. Like, we've only lost 3 vehicles so far, and they're down to just 1 vehicle left. I mean, it's a complete and total massacre. So I advance, hoping to see something, and I spot that this VK-3001 Henschel is out there. And I'm like, wait, I think I can probably get in a shot here. Oh, there he is, right in the water. And I nail him, and then somebody else nails him, and that's it. So that is my very first battle with the Nashorn's Long 88. I think it's a fantastic gun, and I might end up keeping the Nashorn. Nashorn! Nashorn! My little Pokemon here. Just because I kind of like the name Nashorn. It sounds like a Pokemon. And I I really like this gun. A lot of times my decision to keep a tank will be based on if I like the gun or not. Because let's be honest, all the tank is a way to bring a gun into a battle, and that holds even more true for something like a tank destroyer or a weapons carrier or a self-propelled gun. These vehicles are really just a way to get a heavy gun like this into battle. And for the Germans with their Waffenträger designs, weapon carrier systems they were trying to develop, all they really cared about with these vehicles is just getting the biggest gun into battle as cheaply as possible. So what the Germans were doing is they were just sticking these huge anti-tank guns on cheap, lightly armored vehicles and just getting these guns out onto the battlefield. Because a system, oh God, I'm calling everything a system, a weapon system. A vehicle like this is a lot cheaper to make than a standard tank. I believe the Stug 3 was the most mass-produced vehicle by the Germans, and they were significantly cheaper to produce than other tanks. But anyway, that's that battle. It was a complete massacre, and I had a lot of fun with it. Thank you guys very much for joining me, and I'm kind of curious what the community thinks. What do you guys think of the Nashorn? Are there any Nashorn drivers out there? What are your thoughts on the vehicle? And is this a vehicle that you think I should keep around? And do you like it? I'm just kind of curious. And if you keep the Nashorn, do you sell your toaster? Because I personally don't like the toaster, and I'm kind of curious if you guys have had luck with it. I just ground through the toaster as fast as possible, and I was like, I'm getting rid of this stupid thing because I hate it. I like the Nashorn much better because it has the hit points to survive a penetrating shot from a high explosive round where the toaster didn't. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I look forward to what you say in the comments. And as always, take it easy.